Sorry about that, guys. You get a call from your boss and you probably feel like you should probably pick it up. So I apologize for the interruption, but I am back here, and fortunately it looks like I've got 70% of my battery left. So I am going to try to get you guys out into the wetlands, okay? We are still on the Bluestem Trail. You kind of see behind me. And again, I'm going to try to keep my talking to a minimum because I feel like nature is, a lot of times speaks for itself. But if you have any questions, do feel free to post. And if I can't get to them right now, ask. And do keep in mind that my internet connection may be intermittent at times, so do please be patient with me. And I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope this brings you a little bit of the peace of nature at this kind of difficult time. And yeah, just hope you enjoy it. So I'm going to turn it to nature now. So over 200 species, I believe maybe even 220 species of birds have actually been documented as either flying through here or even living here. And if you listen closely in the background when I'm not talking, you're going to hear a huge variety of birds just vocalizing. And again, I just want to welcome you to share this with your friends that might be stuck inside or stuck in a city center where they can't get out to nature. I just hope that this will give them a little bit of a relief. I always like to study the bark. Look at this interesting pattern. As you can see, some of the flowers on some of the trees have fallen off. I'm not sure which species this is. I'd have to look. But even, oh, thanks, Kathy. Hope you enjoy it. But even the trees that you don't necessarily think of as having flowers and pollen sometimes have things like this. I want to say the term is catkin, but I'm not 100% sure. But so that is sometimes where the pollen comes from if you're a sufferer like me. But so you can see a bunch of them have been shedding. So their nuts and fruits and things like that won't be too far behind. So now we're heading to the Wood Duck Trail, and that is going to take us out to the wetlands, which is personally one of my favorite places out here. And as you can see, there aren't many people out here, so if you're looking to get out but want to maintain the social distancing, nature is a great way to do so. Just be sure to keep aware of the advisories and things like that and practice those. This is our outdoor classroom. Not going to take you over there today, but there is a pond on the other side that's we call Bullfrog Pond. I just want to mention, if you just jumped on this video, I did do a video a few minutes before this and had to interrupt. So feel free to watch that other one as well later. That one actually goes through the Bluestem Trail. I just want to point out something really quickly. As you can kind of see some of the surfactants collecting in the stream from runoff, that foam there. Look at the bark on this tree. So we're almost out to the wetlands, guys. Bear with me. It'll hopefully get even more interesting, and you never know what you're going to see. Some more creek. And there is another great blue heron. I don't know if you can see. Fortunately, I can't. Yep, there are definitely cardinals out here. Lots of cardinals. And actually, generally speaking, there's one that lives right in this section that I'm showing right now. And he's very territorial. Here we are almost to the wetlands. And I'm not sure what species, but these purple trees here are redbuds. Which is a native species that gives a lot of color. Can also be utilized in landscapes. And it's going to give you color before a lot of other things do. Ooh. There goes an egret of some kind, I'm not sure. Maybe a greater egret. Oh, and I missed. There are vultures. Lisa Marie, we're 289 acres. There's some vultures up there. Whoops. Sorry, rabbit startled me. I probably startled him too. Poor little guy. Yeah, aren't they pretty, Lisa Marie? This very high-pitched sound is the cardinal that she was referencing. Can you hear it? It's almost like two glass marbles banging together. So things are finally starting to green up out here. And before you know it, everything's going to be lush and beautiful. But it's still, there's still all kinds of things to observe out here. It's probably a little bit too cool today, but give it about 10 degrees, and a lot of the logs out here are just covered in aquatic turtles. But hopefully we'll see some today. We'll see. Well, thank you, Lisa Marie. Maybe someday you can make it back. We've got some interesting fungus growing on this tree. And again, like I explained in the previous video, we do leave dead trees to the extent that we can, because a lot of things find homes in those, they find food in those, and it contributes back into the natural cycle. If you listen very, very carefully, I can actually hear some frogs. They are very distant. And for future reference, the water is a little cloudy today because we got rain recently, but when we haven't gotten rain recently, it's really fun to just take some time to sit and watch into the water, because we do get fish in here, and we do get a variety of aquatic turtles, including some fairly large snapping turtles, and those are definitely fun to watch swimming. So unfortunately I can't really show you those right now, but something to watch for in future, okay? I don't know if you can see that egret flying over again. There goes an egret flying from the rookery. And basically what I mean by rookery is that we have several large trees that a variety of egrets and herons like to nest in together. And especially since the leaves haven't really started greening up yet, thanks Lisa Marie, you can kind of see into their nests better. So especially if you have some binoculars, I do encourage you to bring them out, because it's really interesting to see all these species of very large birds living together. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to show you that very well from the camera, but I am going to get a little bit closer so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Those dark lumps in that tree across the way are all nests for very large great blue herons, egrets, things like that. So you can kind of see them coming in, making preparations. Some of them already may have eggs and chicks. So definitely remember, if you can make it out anytime soon, to bring some binoculars and just observe. Oh, there are some turtles. I don't know if you can see this log right here. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in. We have several aquatic turtles basking on there. And if it were a warmer day, I could pretty much guarantee there would be more. But for now, this is what we've got. So just right out here. Oh, there's actually a little guy right here too. Can you see him picking up? Just his head and the top of his carapace. You can also see, oh, he just ducked back in. You can also see some of the egrets off in the distance. Might be able to get a better look at the turtles from here. So they are just right out here. Oh, there's another very large turtle right here. There is a red-eared slider right there. The same one I showed you from a different angle. And they are basking on logs so that they can get heat from the sun. And it is a bit of a cool day, so there aren't nearly as many as you might, for probably about 10 degrees warmer. Okay. I'm gonna head out this way where maybe you can see the rookery a little bit better. There's some more turtles basking. Actually, I see a quite small one climbing up. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's a woodpecker. There's apparently some kind of altercation going over at the rookery. Can you see those great blue herons? And there's what I believe is a greater egret. I'm not sure what a moxon is. Oh, there is an egret in the tree right out here. Very large one. And there are several species of egrets and herons native to this part of Texas. And we do see a great variety of species here in the rookeries and in the wetlands. There's some waterfowl as well. And again, those dense spots that you're seeing in this tree over here, those are all nests for herons and egrets. You can see another great blue heron flying off. Another great egret. Ooh, looks like it might be heading this way. I don't know if you can see up in this tree, but there's a pair of what looks like it might be, ooh, right there. Possibly something like northern flickers, but I'm not sure. And then down here, right here, there is, I believe those are American coots. Again, my bird IDing skills aren't always the best, so I do encourage you to Google that if you're interested. You can also visit eBird and see a list of things that have been spotted here recently. Okay, we're going to just walk a little bit more and see what else we might see. Again, here is the turtle log right in through here. Now, if you're not aware, we do have regularly breeding pairs of prothonotary warblers. And this is the general area where you would see them. It's a little bit early for that, I believe, but they're beautiful little bright yellow warblers. Back to this guy. Let's see if he'll let us observe him for a second. It looks like he either has one arm tucked in or he may even be missing an arm. It appears to be a red-eared slider. You probably can't see it, but there is a woodpecker up in the tree, and that was what was vocalizing just now. And this is an ephemeral wetlands, so wetland. So in the summer during drought conditions, like last summer, this all does dry out. And it's funny because just months ago I was watching armadillos out here looking for insects in the mud. And now it's all filled with water again. Now out here you can also probably kind of see some turtles right here. There's some interesting fungi growing on there. Those noises are coming from the rookery. Switch hands. Some more interesting things growing on the logs, various fungi, moss. Apologies. As you can see out on this tree, we do get beavers out here, and that is likely from them. There are also some more turtles out here. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is swamp privet. But several of the songbird species really like to spend some time in here because it's dense, and very often large groups of red-winged blackbirds are in here. Again, you just never know what you're going to see out here. It varies every single day. Again, I believe this is a willow tree. Just look at that bark. It's a great habitat for a variety of insects and then also things that feed on insects. I think my comment section may have frozen on me, so if you have questions, I will answer when I get back. And another willow tree. Just look at that bark. It does look like I've got some kids out here. Okay, I have a few people coming up behind me, so I'm going to try and give them some space. Then we'll come back and look a little bit more. Oh, and there are some little minnows in there. Come back and look at those in a second. So your question about the trash, that's actually from runoff.
Oh, wow.
It comes from upstream, unfortunately.
That's sad.
But if you see it, feel free to pick it up.
For sure.
Okay. I don't know that you guys are going to be able to see it, but there are a few minnows in this little section here. And that is what is disturbing the water down there. So even if you can't see them, you might be able to see the ripples. Just little tiny minnows. I'm not sure what species. So we'll go back and look a little bit more. I'm just trying to hurry to give them a little bit of room. again, the water is a little bit clearer here. So I do encourage you to stop and look and see what you might find, because you really never know exactly what you're going to see from day to day. And again, do feel free to share this with your friends that may be in city centers, unable to get out into nature, or friends that just can't get out of the house. I hope this will be a source of joy for them to be able to experience a little bit of nature. Oh wow. Okay, you guys probably might not find this cool, but look at that fungi. Right there. And that is just Mother Nature's way of cleaning things up, breaking down the dead tree. Sorry, I don't know what the plan for the future is. We currently are open because we've got 289 acres that are perfect for social distancing. But if need be to keep people safe, then we will definitely follow whatever protocol is necessary. So I would suggest keeping an eye on our website. I do have a link posted that specifically addresses the COVID situation. If you scroll down underneath our header, it should be in pink. If you just click that, any up-to-date information that is available will be posted there, okay? So, sorry, I hope that information is helpful. And the rain is pretty recent, so the mud is very fresh. But again, I want to mention, looking into the mud is a great way to kind of see when the tracks are fresh, what kind of animals are coming through here. Because you might not be able to see them, but you can see what they left behind. So anything from raccoons to deer, anything like that might leave tracks behind in mud like this. Oh, actually, I can see a raccoon track right here, right in this area. I don't know if you guys can see that. But there are definitely a few raccoon tracks right in through here. They almost look like little hands. I've got some more down here as well. It might be a little more visible. I just wanted to point out these interesting burls on this tree. Oh, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see from there, but this little hole right here, you can tell because it has almost like a little chimney, is a crawdad hole. And there's actually one over here as well, right there. So I've got at least one right there, and then one right there. And then a couple over here as well, I just realized. So you can kind of see one right there, one right there, and one right there. And then I guess also one up here. Oops. Okay, and as I was mentioning, you can kind of use tracks to see what's been coming through here, and here are a few very distinct deer tracks. Oh, there goes another great blue heron up through the sky. And again, unfortunately, I can't zoom in, but hopefully you can on your device. There's another vulture. Just gliding over the airstreams. Some more groundsel blooming. This ash tree. It's really interesting to see when they're young. You can kind of see how the branch or the bark is creating little wings, if you will. A little more groundsel down here. Jennifer, I think that's something like a winged ash. But there are actually several species around here that have kind of interesting barks. One of them being Hercules Club, if you want to Google it. I'll go back. Did you want to see that again, Jennifer? Take a closer look at it. What's funny is that I have it pop up at home in places. So I believe that's an ash species. My tree identification, I'm not super confident on, but I'm pretty sure it's called something like winged ash. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Oh, did I say ash? I meant elm. Winged elm. Oh my goodness. This is why I can't talk on live video. Yeah, Jennifer, I would encourage you to come out because there are a lot of really interesting tree barks out here. I love to look at the bur oaks especially, and the willow trees. And then we've got this interesting guy here, which I'm not going to try to identify right this second because I clearly am forgetting things. Yeah, I don't believe it's this species, but there's even one that's known as a toothache tree because the bark has some properties that are believed to be relieving. Well, when this is over, Jennifer, you should definitely come out and have a look. I think you'll really enjoy it because there's so much to just take time to stop and observe. And this is this eastern red cedar bark. So there's all kinds of stuff out here. Who knows? I know that trees can communicate of sorts in different ways. Scientists are starting to, I'm getting low battery, so we're gonna have to end soon. But anyways, scientists are starting to realize that when trees are under threat, they can release certain chemicals to warn neighboring trees and things like that. You might also enjoy this bark. And especially during the winter, it's a really great time to come out and look at the bark on the trees. The sycamore are particularly beautiful because the very top part is just very bright, and you can really see it well when the leaves are gone. And we have some more groundsel. Again, this is one of the earliest blooming flowers here. Things are just starting to wake up on the sanctuary. So any day now we're going to have more blooms out here. That'd be great, Jennifer. Tree bark rubbing could be great. Just make sure that when you do it, that you're very sensitive to the bark. We ask people to leave no trace as possible. So please just be respectful of the bark. And also do be careful if you're coming later in the year, because we do ask people to stay on the trail, and part of that is I don't want you to get poison ivy. So do be advised. And we do also have a lot of educational programs too that, you know, we can guide you through that sort of thing. I know, Jennifer, I'm trying not to talk over it. And this is our prairie. It's still kind of waking up, but any day now, things will be blooming out there as well. Okay guys, my battery is getting low, so I am going to sign off for now, but I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope it gave you a little break from what's going on, and hopefully if I can continue, I'll try to do a few more of these in coming days. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section, and when I get back to a computer later, I will try to address any questions. And I hope you all stay well and have a great day.